So Jermell Charlo pretty much dominates Gabriel Rosado. Um, this was actually a very impressive performance by Jermell Charlo. He surprised me in a lot of ways. Um, Opening bell, he didn't waste no time. He jumped on Rosado. Um, you could clearly tell that they had, an efficient strategy come into this fight. They stuck with the game plan and it paid off. Charlo just clearly outworked Rosado. Um, if you really want to be generous, um, I could say you could probably give 2 rounds to Rosado. And to me, those 2 rounds would have been the first round and the 8th round. Being that the first round I thought was kind of close, but I thought Charlo edged it out. And on the 8th round, Rosado started to pick up the pace. He was a little bit more aggressive. But to me, those were the only 2 rounds where I thought, you could possibly give the rounds to Rosado if you want to be generous. But I clearly did not give any rounds to Rosado. This was an absolute dominating performance by Charlo, man. And pretty much throughout the fight, man, he just controlled the fight. His punches he had more volume. Excellent footwork. He didn't stay against the ropes. Anytime he was up against, getting close towards the ropes, he circled around very quick. He had very good combinations. The only thing I saw from Charlo, I wish the only thing he could have did, was just a little bit more body work. That's it. Other than that, Charlo fought a very good fight. I think if he'd have went to the body, a good amount, I think he probably could have got him with a good body shot. And it's just like I said in my previous video. Rosado is that type of dude that's going to bleed very easily. But at the end of the day, that bleeding is not going to come from his opponent, just snapping his fingers. That bleeding clearly came from Rosado getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Not protecting himself, not using enough defense. And you could clearly hear his trainer telling him that, throughout most of the rounds of the fight. So this is a very tough loss for Rosado. Because now I honestly don't know where he's gonna go from here, man. I honestly really don't know. I mean, at this point, it's not even really worth considering now at this point, because now we got to start looking at Jermell Charlo. He is now, him defeating Rosado is clearly his best win in his career thus far. So now we got to start considering, bigger names at the 154-pound division. Clearly now, Charlo should be up there with, I would like to see Charlo getting there with, maybe the winner of, Collazo and Victor Ortiz. I think that fight's at 154 or 160. I don't remember the exact weight class of that fight, but I think it's 154. I could be wrong on that, but regardless, I would like to see him getting there with the winner of that fight. That want to be a bad fight. Erislandy Lara right now is the top dog at that weight class. I'm not really too sure if that win is going to secure him a fight with Erislandy Lara, but I do know that this victory over Gabriel Rosado is going to should guarantee him a fight with a big name, if it's not going to be for some big belt right away. um, very, like I said, very solid performance by Charlo. I was very impressed. Just clearly dominating performance. You could clearly see that his brother was really happy for him. His trainer, I think his trainer's doing an excellent job with him. Him and his brother. His brother's getting ready to fight Carlos Molina. I think that's going to be a good fight. I'm really going to look forward to that fight. And I think the future is going to be bright for the Charlo brothers. They're saying that they want to take over the sport when the Klitschko's leave. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that's some really big words for them to fill. That's a lot of smack that they're going to have to back up. Is it impossible for them to do it? It can and it cannot be. But I will say this though: if they do keep on putting on good, solid performances like how he did tonight, I mean, anything is possible. So we're gonna have to see what unfolds from here on out. Um, so shout out to Jermell Charlo. The future looks bright for this kid. I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eye out on him. Let's talk about Lamont Peterson versus Thierry Jean. It was an overall solid fight. It's just like what I said in my previous video. Anytime you go against somebody, when you go to somebody's backyard, you can never leave it in the hands of the judges. No matter how good you think, you won the fight or you did this or you did that. If you think you're winning on points, at the end of the day, you really got to go in there, dominate your opponent from the beginning of the first bell, pretty much all the way to the end, man. Either that or you clearly have to knock them out. So I'm pretty sure Thierry Jean could bounce back. I'm not really going to sure if they're going to make him fight, in Canada, a lot more this time. I'm not really sure if this was his first fight in the United States, but Lamont Peterson, they're talking about him versus Danny Garcia. I think that's a very excellent fight. We all know how Lamont Peterson likes to do his thing. He's an excellent inside fighter. The thing that I see from Danny Garcia is that he could adjust to pretty much anything. We've seen this time again. From Zab Judah to Lucas Matisse. The kid could, weather out the storm, man. But that can't take away anything that, Lamont Peterson is a very tough, solid fighter. I think Danny Garcia was talking about he's going to fight one last fight at 140 pounds. And I think he's going to go up to 147 after that. If he does stay at 140, he needs to go after Ruslan and get that belt and, pretty much be a fully undisputed champion of that weight class. And then after that, he would have nothing else to prove at 140 pounds. And then after that, we could see him going up to 147 and tackle some big names, maybe like Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, possibly a Floyd Mayweather fight in 2015. There's a lot of excellent fights at 147 for Danny Garcia. But if Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia fights, I think they're going to be fighting, I think, sometime in April or something like that. April or May, somewhere around there. I'm definitely going to give the nod to Danny Garcia in that fight. Danny Garcia is just one hell of a fighter. The kid is just very good. I don't think nobody's going to, beat that dude at 140 pounds. Just like how I think nobody's going to beat Guillermo Rigondeaux at his current weight class. But that's just my opinion. Right now, boxing has been kind of slow lately. It's still, early in the beginning of the year. Boxing is going to pick up pretty good though. April around there is going to start picking up really good again. We got Pacquiao Bradley rematch coming up. Floyd Mayweather has not announced his opponent by now, which is kind of surprising to me. I, I'm thinking he should have been announced his opponent by now. And to me, if that was going to be Amir Khan, I'm thinking he would announce Amir Khan by now. So I don't know who he's going to fight, but he should be announced his opponent. Like, I want to say it has to be within the net before January ends. I say he's probably going to have to announce his opponent because you have to factor in 2 months training camp and at least 1 month to promote the fight. So that's about 3 months, and then that'll be May right there, beginning of the May. So I'm thinking he has to announce his opponent pretty damn soon. And I don't know who it's going to be. I'm like really curious about that. So shout out to Lamont Peterson, he bounced back. Shout out to Jermell Charlo. I missed I'm gonna try to go back and watch the fights on HBO. I know that I think Mikey Garcia fought. Marco Huck had a victory. I think Brian Jennings had a victory. So I'm gonna try to watch those fights. I'll maybe try to do a post fight video on those. But yeah, until I'm also gonna do a video on the Pacquiao Bradley 2 rematch. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on that pretty soon. And once Floyd Mayweather announces his opponent, I'll definitely do a video on that. And that's pretty much it. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.